So guys, hey everyone to the video number 25, and we are only few days away from completing this challenge. I'm super happy about it. I think it's a great achievement which I was able to finally get and complete. Um, it wasn't the easiest thing to do. The hardest part was to read books daily. I'm still struggling. It's still difficult. I'm still falling asleep while reading. Even in the moments when I do find the book interesting, um, I believe that it's not only has to do with the book, but also with the way I feel. But I believe that the more I read, the more time I spend for it, the easier it will get for me with time to read for longer, hold my concentration, hold my attention on something less dopamine, less dopamine. What's the word here? Mm, produce, producing. I want a different word, not producing, but um, what could I say instead? Okay, let's see. I'm using my free will as much as I want, and no one can do anything about it. La belle histoire. Ooh, level up statistics. Really? That's Mhm. 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 It's just a pleasure for me to look at my stats. Anyway, mm, dopamine produce. To say is the word producing. No, guys, this AI implementation in the daily life was such a game changer. You can Google anything in the way you want it, and it will give you the answer exactly about it, and that's just super cool. I remember times when, still as a kid, I could not do that, and I remember the only moment, like as soon as I realized that it's possible, it's such a game changer. Mm, dopamine generating. I think that's something what I wanted to say. Really. Mm, oh, dopamine triggering or dopamine sparking. Yes, dopamine boosting. Nice. dopamine flooding. Shit. Those are a lot of good words. Dopamine boosting, dopamine sparking, triggering. Yeah, so something to read. It's much more difficult to read something to do any kind of lower in dopamine triggering activity, which of course makes sense because you're just not interested, not motivated enough to do it. So instead, you're choosing to do something with much more triggers of your brain. And maybe that's why also it's difficult for me to read a book, because I still play that mini golf on my phone, and it's just a lot of dopamine there. I just want to do that a whole day long. It's so stupid. Fuck. I'm addicted to it. I think I could I could delete it, really, because yeah, should I? I mean, I don't want to delete it now because I just created my own clan, and I'm developing. I want to see how far I can go. But I kind of also won everything there. Like I'm fighting in the highest league now, the most expensive one, taken sometimes first places, so it's good. Definitely I want to be the best. So now I open my clan, and I don't see a point for me to like play more. Definitely out of interest, I can definitely like try to um play a little more, but again, I don't think it will be a big difference for me. So I could delete it, and I think it will help for sure. And instead, I could play chess. I could do something more brain not brain consuming, but brain activating, thinking mode activating, instead of just moving the finger on the board with the right distance, direction, etc. Accuracy. So that if I do that, then I'll have more time for me to do shit when I'm bored. I'll be like, okay, what do I do now? I'm bored. And usually I would just go and play that game. And also that game would kind of be the reason why I start feeling bored in those calls, for example, that I make during the work, or etc. So instead of me using that, like in general doing that, I will remove it from the formula, from the not the formula, equation, yes. And then just because there's no gonna be anything like that anymore, the only thing I can do is chess, but I can't play chess always, and chess is not as big in dopamine. It's still nice, but of course it's less when these fucking circles and mini golf shit. Yeah. If you think about, oh my god, but I really developed very well there. Like the last thing I want to do now is quit. Ooh, I guess I have to. I have to quit, guys. Yeah, today WhatsApp fucking blocked me, restricted me from using it. What the hell? I was chilling and vibing and chilling and vibing and chilling and vibing. Why would it ever do this to me? And I didn't do any new calls because I didn't want to. Oh my god, about that WhatsApp guy. Really, why would it block me like that? So don't get it. There is no way to write a human, guys. WhatsApp is the worst. Is one of the worst networks, and it's such a pity that it's been monopolized and that everyone is using it because it's bullshit network. I hate it. Telegram is much better. It's much more developed. If you need help considering something in Telegram, you can always contact support and they will help you. Actually, I have no idea, but I believe that's true. Maybe I could just check it out if I wanted to. But I think it's much easier to contact support of Telegram because WhatsApp now is what like who even like you know who is behind Telegram. There is one person who is in charge, kind of Pavel Durov, which I think not is not the case anymore. I think it's been sold. Was it? People like to create shit and then sell it. Owner of Telegram. Oh, owned and controlled by its founder and CEO Pavel Durov. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so you know who's in charge. So you know what you need to be doing. I mean, what the fuck? There, the person is in charge. He has his face on it, so in case there's anything happens, like he is the one getting fucked. But if it's some kind of like meta company, bro, like Meta is a company. It's huge and its own. It it's controlling what's up now. Not controlling. It's owning. It owns. I just imagine I look back from the future on my videos right now and I'm like, what the hell, guys? Look at this quality of these videos. Look at the way he's stating, the way he's speaking, the phrases he makes, the judgments he makes, the he tries to look cool, um, things he says. And instead, I can try to be authentic and well, I am. You see, the thing is that it is really what I'm thinking. I might have a problem with expressing my thoughts, but those are unique thoughts. I'm not stealing them from anyone. I really do believe that Telegram is better. WhatsApp is the fucking worst because I face shit there and I don't like it, and that's true. So I'm not stealing anyone's idea. I'm not listening to people's crowd. Yeah, I'm just struggling to put words together. And I believe that's normal because that's what I'm doing right now. Is for me, I'm trying to practice it and develop it so I speak better, I become a better communicator, I can control my voice better, and in general, make more interesting content with what I have. Also, for example, if I were to try and use specific um, diction for me to say stuff in a better way. By the way, I think that if I was a little bit more French, then it would be a little bit easier for me to speak in general. Parce que je compris. Oui, je connais le français, je peux parler un peu. Si, 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 oui. What? Putain. What am I doing? What the hell is this? Notebook, I need you. Say. save me from this cringe. Yeah, I remember times when I used to think that if I start real estate, that there will be a big chance of me closing the first deal already the first month as I start. And to be honest, guys, what a fucking idiot I was to think that. You need a lot of resilience. You need a lot of practice in order for you to close your first deal. It's much more difficult than you think, and you need much more preparation. You need a lot of knowledge in order for you to be able to influence people into making the right decision. And you could be uh, even knowledgeable enough, but you lack the language, you lack the vocabulary that you need in order to convince a person that you know what you're talking about, and you can be you can be trusted. So of course you need time to develop those. Even the first few months you need to just dig and learn and maybe put all your like dress kind of in a way your room with all those stickers of information about different stuff in real estate so you can just learn and develop in this field. What is super important here is for you to mm, in general be interested in this field. So for example, if I and that's how you can get more developed and grow faster. For example, it's not only about you learning um, if it was real estate, right? About real estate companies which operate on the market, not only about villas and something what you can buy and sell and where you will make potentially more money and where you will make less money. But instead, what you could also do is try and learn more about real estate in different countries. So you can then support a conversation, try to learn some history, try to learn about how villas are made and maybe when the first villa ever in the world was opened, what's the word villa means. You know, like the everything can be broken down is in very little parts and learned through. And if you meet a person who is really interested and excited and passionate about some sort of field, then uh, you'll notice it about like from the way he speaks about it, from the knowledge he has, he or she. So for me, at the moment, I need to either focus on learning more about sales and educational field because that is what I'm doing at the moment, or I should learn to focus more on YouTube stuff and try to learn more about YouTube. But in the same time, I can do both, maybe, which is difficult, of course, because it requires more attention, and I will need to do one thing and then another thing, which is not easy. It may sound easy, but it's difficult. So I do have those questions in mind on how I could develop something like this. because what is it that I can do in order for me to start closing deals? What is it that I'm missing? Am I missing consistent approach of handling clients? I don't think so. I'm pretty good with reaching out to people and trying to sell them stuff and trying to communicate with them. Um, 998, is it Uzbekistan or Tajikistan? I think 998. Fuck, I might be fucked, guys. Country code. Yeah, I think it's Uzbekistan. No, don't tell me. No! Fuck, I looked so stupid today. The guy asked me what time zone, and I thought he's from Tajikistan, so I said Tajikistan time zone, but he's from Uzbekistan. Those are two completely different places with completely different people. I'm making so many mistakes in the beginning, and all those mistakes are so silly, so small, but at the same time, they all are causing me losing my deals. It's causing me losing my professionalism and the trust which I built. It's also is being diminished, demolished, demolished. Diminished. I think there is a word diminished. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, diminish. What the fuck is this word even? Make or become less. The new law is expected to diminish the government's chances. Decrease, decline, reduce, lessen, shrink, contract, grow smaller, fall off, drop off, drop, sink, slump, plummet, plunge, hit the floor, go through the floor, go down the hill, cut down, cut back, prune, tear down, lower, fade. Pictures for the future reference. Smile, guys. So you understand, this is how it looks. You see this guy, he keeps looking at me. Dale Carnegie. He is looking at me always when I'm making the video. Because this is where the camera, you are here, guys. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? What are you? I just, out of nowhere, started to believe in myself that I am something more than a fucking poor ass bitch with minus on his bank account and in the fucking shithole. With nothing to be proud of. Yeah, okay, I can be proud of my body in a way. Like, yeah, I'm not very proud of it yet, like myself, but maybe I could, like, it's healthy at least. I could be proud of having a sales job, which sucks because I still haven't closed any deals, so I can't really be as confident in speaking about it yet. Then there is something what else can I be proud about? for my mindset, for reading stuff, for remembering where I started, and for the path I've taken so far. Because if circle back to 2021, when I first came to Switzerland and when I left Russia. By the way, it was exactly 5 years ago now. A bit less than 5 years, but it's getting there. Just a matter of few days. And for these 5 years, since I was 17 years old, so many things changed. I changed completely. My perspectives on the world changed. I remember I was even questioning psychology. I thought that everyone who does psychology is a stupid ass bitch. And now I don't think that way anymore. And I have much bigger goals. And in many different ways, I have kind of fucked up in a way in my life. Not kind of, I moved. Fuck. Every single fucking year, something would happen that would completely fucking destroy my present moment. That would be just a fucking mess I would cause. When I was in Russia, I would either go to a fucking police for stealing shit. Then I would just disappear for a whole night because I would be drunk on the streets with the fucking broken face, trying to get home and just asking people to help me somehow. Uh, then I would fucking smoke weed as well and party so hard that at some point it's not even partying hard, it's just smoking too much that I would fall asleep sitting on the chair while the party is going on, and then I will be just one of those dudes who's like, that's so stupid. And then later on, again, there is a second moment happened with the police while it was already 1 year after I started studying in Switzerland, and I got fucked. And then since then, I went to Qatar and I kind of started to rule out of shithole I was placed in general in my life and my principles and everything. I started getting better at things, and then another shit happened. Like, what? Fuck. And now I'm still recovering from the shit that happened a year ago. With all the money I lost, with all the obligations I took for others people's money. And I have to now take responsibility to give those money back. Yeah, just some stuff is not as easy as it was. So anyway, at the moment, like the latest thing that happened to me is losing a lot of money because I believed in stupid investment. I just trusted a person and I lost all of it. And I'm very happy that it happened to me while I was still 21. It happened to me. And I turned 22, so now I'm gonna be turning 23 this August, and already with such a huge experience behind my back, I know what's right, I know what's wrong, I know how to understand when someone is doing shit, I know how to trust my own instincts with considering like people I don't want to be around with, people I don't want to deal with, based on a feeling level, and I will trust it from now on. I kind of trusted it beforehand, but I thought that maybe there is something behind it. Maybe I'm wrong. I just ignored it. Honestly, I didn't even think about it. I didn't bring it up for the inner discussion. I just ignored it, which I should never do again. So now what I need to do with all this information is to make sure that I'm not going to put myself, I'm not, let's put it this way. I know that every challenge is there for you to learn something from it, but there is different kinds of challenges. There is some challenges, some situations, let's say not challenges, situations, which when they happen, they pull you back so hard, so far that you need to start from the beginning, and sometimes even from a less than the beginning. Can you say that I lost everything I had already at least once in my life? Yes. I lost more than I had. And that feeling is like is again like you could not believe that that is something not happening to you. So you need to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And it's kind of simple. Like if I would try to make a certain rule for me not to face those, not to get in those situations again, I would probably say something like, don't make sure not to steal shit and not lie. Don't lie, don't steal, don't try to get stuff for free, which you have to usually pay for. Only if it's some kind of discount, okay, why not? But talking about public transport, uh, anything in the grocery store, even if there is no cameras, not lying to people about anything, your parents, your girlfriend, your friends, your to a random person on the street, to your employer, to yourself. Be honest always. uh, these two things will save you from so much shit which you just don't want to experience. You don't want to face this. There is nothing cool there. It's a loophole which drags you more and more and more and more and deeper and deeper and deeper. And then it's much more difficult for you to get out of it. And maybe you'll need some sort of a serious thing happening to you. The universe is giving you a fucking sign that, hey, bro, you better stop now. You better do not continue, because if you will continue, it will get worse. And a lot of people, when this thing happens, they, because it's the way, it's who they are. For them to change something, they need to change who they are. And that's some, like, it's not sometimes, but it's always a difficult thing to do, is change who you are from one thing to another. And that's why we keep doing it, and we keep getting into bigger accidents, and then having to cover cover, no, not cover, but hold, to face, having to face bigger obligations and bigger responsibilities, greater responsibilities, face greater responsibilities, take care of greater responsibilities. feel the weight of greater responsibilities. Anyway, all of that, yes. And also, in the same time, what is different from it is when you are finally acting normal, you're paying for the shit you need to pay for, you're not lying, you're playing by the basic rule of the games. By the basic rule, you're following fundamental rules of the game. When you do that, you feel normal, you feel human, you feel like you finally started and you are now at the level zero. Because when you're stealing and lying and doing that shit, you're putting yourself in the level -1 or even -2. You're not even playing the game correctly. You haven't started yet because you did not pass the fucking training. You're still trying to pass the training of not doing the shit you're not supposed to do. Be normal in this way. It's, of course, there's limitations. You don't have to follow all the societal rules, and sometimes you need to break them and become fucking numb and rude and arrogant sometimes. But don't steal, don't lie, be honest. That's all. So that's one lesson which I've taken from my past situations and experiences. Second is yeah, it's about money and people and contracts. This is something what I've learned where I was able to learn a lot. And if there I need to change myself from one to another. Oh, by the way, bad habits as well is a third one. Not smoking, drinking less, not smoking weed, no drugs at all. That is something what helps me a lot to move through the life. I'm not smoking. I can drink, but very rarely. And the weed, I don't smoke as well. So this is something what I had to also do myself. It was my own decision, and only I could make myself stop doing all of that shit. And I did it, and I'm proud of it. And it's something what I forgot actually to mention, but I am very proud of it. So cool, great. Another bad habit is scrolling. Something I also have to kind of quit. I can still find myself scrolling rarely, but it's much, 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 much more rare than I used to, and than many people do. So yeah, the second one is fucking. Yeah, it's a package of lessons. It's not just one lesson. First is if I were to change from one person to another, when I would say something that money don't come by fucking and giving them to a random person and hoping that he will give you back double. Guys, it's not happening. That's bullshit. Second of all, not giving people money for anything, even when you're borrowing money to someone, accept the loss. Give those money which you're ready to lose in case we won't be able to give it back to you. Many different shit situations happen, and some people they get into situations where they were not able to find themselves in those situations previously. They would never believe that something like this could happen to them, and they did. So now we cannot give you money back. So never give a big amount of money, something what you cannot bear as a loss to anyone, even to your brother. No. Maybe because of your brother, you still can do that, but you need to accept the risk. You need to understand that you may lose this money, and you'll have to bear the risks and live with that. So my lesson, my take from it is, do not yeah borrow more. No, not borrow, lend. Do not lend. Yes, what I'm saying. Do not lend more than you can borrow there to the ground. That you can lose. That you are ready to lose. Do not give more than you're ready to lose. Someone, if someone is asking you to borrow money. Um, First thing, and second, avoid borrowing money as much as you can. Especially, especially if you have some fucking stupid investment that you want to make and you believe in it and you think that it's gonna pay off. Stop yourself right there and just look at what you're doing. You don't have any money yourself and you're asking someone else to give you money to invest in something. That's completely fucked. You're putting yourself in much greater risk. You're already at zero and you're putting yourself at minus. Going in minus is never good, and especially dealing with other people who you might not even know very well, that's even worse. Uh, I lost so much fucking money. If only I could do it differently, I would be sitting with at least like $10K. I would have $10,000, probably. I could do shit with this money. I could finally feel human. It will take me lots of time now for me to create the same wealth which I had. It will take me a lot of time. 9 to 5 is also not easy at all. You need to push hard to make good money. You need to push hard to make good profits. If you don't push hard enough, you won't make it to a good level of income. And the harder you push, the deeper in the trenches you go. In the trenches of working for a company which pays you salary so you forget about your dreams. So I'm very happy that as soon as I started working 9 to 5, I also started doing my side hustle, which is YouTube, because this way I can separate my life, my passion, something where I truly want to be developing in the direction I want to go, and something what I'm using for my survival. This helps me to stay human, to pay for my own bills, to take care of some expenses and some obligations for obligations to other people, of other people, in front of other people. What can I even say? Obligations towards some people. Maybe towards is the word. So yeah, don't borrow money, don't lend money to anyone, from anyone, especially for stupid investments, if you're already at zero. Then another rule, the only investment you can make is also the investment of something that you're ready to lose. If you lose that money, you're done. You should never do that. Only maximum 10% from all the money you have. Why I never had this in my brain before doing it, why I went for full all the money I had into one thing, because I believed in it, because I believed to the person who suggested it to me, and that was a fucking bullshit. So yeah, never all in, never. That's just stupid. Then another rule here which I learned is only doing projects and shit with the people you know well, then if you were to sign some sort of contract, then you need to make sure that you have all the documents and all the contracts are signed by hand, not by electronic signature. Yeah, these are some hard lessons which I learned, and I'm very happy about it because I'm still very young and it will definitely save me for my future projects, whatever happens in the future, because this is, well, it's still a lot of money for me, more than I can bear at the moment, so I had to use the help of time in order for me to pay that back. But anyway, very happy. Of course, I thought about it so many different times. I also learned to speak with lawyers, and with so many lawyers, they just want to do their job, but in the same time, they just want your money. So it's also difficult to find a good lawyer who doesn't want to make money on you and on your case, but is honest with about everything. Your ass should always be covered. That's the lesson for today. Nothing more than that. If I knew this earlier, I would be not sitting now here. But in the same time, I'm happy where I am, so it's good. Moving in the right direction. Everything that happens has a reason and is leading you eventually to something better, something what you deserve more. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I wish for you all to take lessons from the life situations which you had experienced, and don't feel guilty about it. Learn from it, embrace it, and move forward. And don't do the same mistakes. Cheers.